Network of awareness makes your brain coherent. One of the fastest growing podcasts. You can hear it 24/7. You got listeners out in London, informationalists in Paris. The echo spreading out, no parrot. Just dissect, digest, and share it. The righteous rhymes hit the spirit. Click 90 times, it won't perish. Cause y'all's the mind ain't no fairy tale like the valley our parents. It's time to rise, don't get weary. United minds, it's apparent. Download every single errand, but most ain't fit to catch it, even if they were Larry. Interviews, the interludes, they enter you, taking you on a journey like no other. It places you in a state of awareness. It's your fault if you hate the truth, cause Yahweh's on his way, my brother. Better change your views.
All praise to Yah.
Hello, positive people. You are now tuned in to the Network of Awareness podcast radio station, giving you in-depth information on society and culture in America and abroad, with messages of inspiration, with keen insights, reputable interviews, and much more. So now, without further ado, your host of the Network of Awareness podcast, Aura, the informationalist.
Yeah, peace and greetings, people. This is All the Informationalists, and welcome to the Network of Awareness Wisdom Wednesdays, baby. Let's go. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, peace to all the brothers and sisters around the world. We have a great show tonight for Wisdom Wednesdays. It's episode 33 of season 4, Universal Understandings. Yes. And we're going to talk about a couple of things when it comes to universal understandings. We're going to also go over some smoke and mirrors media segments today. So I'm going to talk a little bit about human trafficking. I'm also going to talk about abortion and the Roe vs. Wade. And I'm also going to discuss the Jeffrey Epstein case with, her name is Chastain or whatever. And I'm going to discuss that briefly, just to show you how the powers that be, how they work when they use the media to describe certain people that are in places of power. And we're going to also discuss some other things. So I want to welcome all the brothers and sisters that are going to be joining this chat room. Shout outs to my wifey, Queen Letta. Shout outs to Brother Mauricio in the chat room. And shout outs to all the people that will be joining and trickling in, as well as those that are listening outside the chat room. And shout outs to all the people that are going to be downloading the show after it's over throughout the week. And thank you to all the people that follow me on TikTok. Really appreciate all the love that I'm getting on TikTok. Over 4,200 likes. That's pretty good. Even though I don't have a lot of followers, I got a lot of people liking my content, and that matters to me. Also, shout out to all the people on IG, Twitter, Tumblr, SoundCloud, the people that follow me on Apple, on Spotify, on Bullhorn, on Audible from Amazon, Pandora, the people that follow me on Spreaker. Really do appreciate y'all. And Rope Tuesday was probably, in my opinion, one of the best shows I ever did. And the reason I say that is because it needed to be said. And I'm very grateful that I'm a messenger for the Most High. And yesterday I had to let a lot of things go. Because sometimes when people disappoint you, you can't let it get too much into your head, because it is what it is. And I know that I'm cut from a different cloth that other people are not. My cloth is very unique. Let's get this show on and popping, right? And what I'm going to do is I'm going to start off with just a quick... No, matter of fact, you know what? This beat is ending. Let's get it popping now. So welcome to the Network of Awareness, man. It's June 29th. Time is flying, right? We're already 6 months past for the year 2022, which is the year of the Hebrew. And we're done. 6 months out the window. And now we're going into the month of July. Now, for the month of July, people, just on a side note, you know that there's going to be a lot of ritual sacrificing during this time of year. A lot. And it's not just in the music industry. It's in all industries. It's in politics, all of them. They get together. Many of the Caucasian oligarchs, amongst others, that are allowed to come in, perform their homosexual rituals as well as blood sacrifice rituals. And they do it at Bohemian Grove, amongst other places. And this is a big time for human sacrificing. So just be prepared and aware. It's summertime. And as you all know, I've talked about this many times, crime increases during the summer only because more people are outside and people tend to have more erratic behavior during the hot seasons. And there's something about when the weather is warm, people start to act up even more than they do in the winter. And a big part of that is just the weather alone. People are more free to frolic in the autumn mist, or should I say in the summer mist, opposed to a lot of places where it's so cold, most people just stay indoors and want to stay warm. So be aware and prepared, brothers and sisters. Now, I do apologize if I sound a little hoarse because I don't know. I ate some food and my head got all hot. So I don't know if I'm coming down with something from this food because I don't get sick, but I feel a little off. Like I feel like I have a fever or a headache. I don't know, but I'm going to work through it, get over it, and move past this because it's always mind over matter. And, you know, I don't get sick. So I'm going to say it again. I don't get sick. With that being said, June 29th is approximately 7:16 p.m. here in the Tampa Bay area. And today was a hot one. Oh, man, it was like 96 degrees or so. And I was burning in the sun. And I knew it was hot because even my dog, when I took him out into the backyard, he didn't want to stay out there too long. He was like all in the shade and looking at me like, when we going back into the house? So when my dog starts looking at me like that and not wanting to even lay in the grass for more than 2 minutes, I know it's got to be super hot outside. Today's show, the reason why I chose this show and I called it Universal Understandings is because let me pull it up here. I had gotten a post by somebody that I follow, and I shared it with the chat room that I created on IG called Network of Awareness once. Now, I follow Law of Attraction Key. Shout out to Law of Attraction Key for putting out great posts. The post that was sent to me says, and some of you have seen this because I shared it with you, those that follow me. It says, look at you, no longer controlling anything or anyone because you understand that there are infinite ways for the universe to bring you what you want. Wisdom looks good on you. And all praise to the Most High for that reality. So, wisdom looks good on you, brothers and sisters, because when you are in a state of mind where you feel no desire to be in control of others and even be so diabolically in control of your life, where you can allow yourself to get out the way and allow Yahweh, allow the Most High, the great creator of all that is and ever will be, to guide you along the way, you can connect to the universe by utilizing universal principles. Many of these principles I've discussed. Let's go over some of them. Gratitude, appreciation, faith, purpose, desire, ambition, sincerity, humility. Humility is a big one, people. A lot of people don't practice humility these days because they're so caught up in their egos and they're not very humble. They say they're humble, but they're not. You also have the universal principle of hope, right? Gratitude. You have universal principles that allow you to manifest things into your life because the universe is going to find you a way. And like the saying goes, where there is a will, there is a way. And many of you, let me fix my mic here. Many of you are finding a will and a way to get shit done because you're allowing the universe to guide you. You're starting to get greater understanding of universal principles. And with the greater understanding of those universal principles, the Most High is guiding you because you are an expression of the Most High. And when we get to really understand our importance within this vast universe, things start to happen very quickly for us. We start to manifest things so much so that things start to manifest almost instantaneously. I've been in those types of situations where I can manifest things instantaneously because I don't allow myself to try to be in control of so many things. And when we try to control things so much, especially when it comes to people, the universe is not going to honor that type of energy. But when you can get out your own way and allow the universe to take its course into guiding you and giving you certain things that you may desire or aspire to achieve, things start to happen more smoothly. When you go against the grain and you try to control people and situations, the circumstances are very unfavorable for you. And it's something that it took me from the age of 26 is when I really started coming into this truth. I came into the truth at 26 years old. So I've been in this truth for quite some time. And I've accelerated and excelled in my understanding of universal principles, my understanding in the Most High, my understanding of scriptures, my understanding of life, my understanding of people in general. And I'm just so grateful for number one, which was my first show, first episode ever. I'm so grateful to be alive in this great time that we live in. What a great time to be alive. I'm so grateful for the people I have in my life that are allowing me to get to achieve and climb up to even higher success spiritually. I don't gauge success by material things anymore. I used to be like that when I was younger, but when I came into the truth, started realizing that everything is vibration and frequency and vibration, and that everything is based on perception, and that everything around us that is based on perception is all based on different forms of illusions. Because the only true reality is the spiritual light and love that is the infinite truth of all that is and ever will be throughout this limitless and infinite universe. And like the quote says, I'll read it again. Look at you no longer controlling anything or anyone because you understand that there are infinite ways for the universe to bring you what you want. Wisdom looks good on you. Woo! Hello. That's some fire right there. So, brothers and sisters, are you allowing yourself to get out your own way? Will you allow yourself to not try to be in control of things and people? I asked that question to you, brothers and sisters in the chat room. And yes, Brother Mauricio, this year is very quick because vibration has raised. The level of frequency has raised. Because as we all know, time is just an illusion itself. It's not real. But time is accelerating because the vibrational frequency is accelerating from a 3-dimensional realm going into a 5th dimension. And because many of us are ascending, those of us that are, time is moving a lot faster. And because of that, as time is moving faster and as we allow the universe to guide us, it is allowing us to really be all that we truly are. And if you are currently in a great state of contentment, then that means you're doing some good things. If you are flowing in a way where whether you are getting a lot of resistance or no resistance, but you're still flowing in that positive stream, then you are manifesting. You are evolving as a spiritual being having a physical experience. And it's such a beautiful time to be alive because we have so much chaos going on in the world today. And it's all because it's all part of the spiritual warfare that we've always been in. And now the spiritual warfare is now accelerating itself all over again. There's nothing new under the sun, people. We are in the days of revelations where everything that's happening has happened before in the days of antiquity. It's happened before. And the question is, what are you going to do when the shit hits the fan? Because the shit is going to hit the fan in a way that we've never seen before in our lifetimes. And we're going to have to be spiritually prepared to deal with this. Because by the year 2030, it is predicted that they are going to perform what is called the Great Reset. And who am I talking about there? I'm talking about the wicked cabal, the oligarchs and the demons that run this world, that serve their master, their Lord and master, which is Satan. And a lot of people think that Satan's not real, right? Because the greatest trick, like in The Usual Suspects told you, the greatest trick that the devil ever pulled was convincing the world that he didn't exist. And because of that great trick, now the devil and Satan can reveal himself through people and perform rituals in all different types of arenas, whether it be on the football field, the baseball, hockey, stadiums for music concerts, political forums, corporate companies performing rituals, places like CERN that have nothing but ritualistic stuff going on. And they're all about opening up portals to bring about interdimensional beings that are very demonic and evil. And they're all about distorting the frequency of the planet. But when you have universal understanding, you get to see all these things with your universal spiritual eyes. And then you can start to know what is real. You can know what is fake. And you can also know what is distorted, because a lot of our perceptions are distorted based upon our belief systems. And many of us belief systems are very limited. And when you have a limited understanding of the universe, your perception becomes limited. And it's almost like you become pigeonholed into a certain level of understanding, when in reality, we should be always evolving in our level of understanding. And a lot of times we may think something is true only to find out that it was wrong the whole entire time. And as much as I look forward to the demise of this country, there is still a part of me that wants to accomplish things, especially with things that I got going on, before everything gets shut down and this great reset happens, to where we're going to be in this battle 110%. And we're going to be in a battle, people. We're in it right now, but it's very subtle. It's very vague. And it's slowly evolving, but it's not full force yet. Now, speaking of spiritual warfare, I did say that I was going to discuss and do my smoke and mirrors media segments, which I haven't done in a while. So I think it's only right that I bring it into the fold and discuss some of these topics that a lot of people have been talking about. Now, the first thing I want to cover is the truck that was found with immigrants that were being trafficked, which is human trafficking, which is big business. Human trafficking, people, is probably the biggest money-making industry in the world. And it's right side by side with sex trafficking, because when you traffic a human, especially for sex, you can do it over and over again. It's like a infinite residual reoccurring income. So let's cover this the Smoke and Mirrors media segment, right? And before we do that, let's just get a little quick instrumentation.
Let's get to that tragedy involving migrants in South.
Okay. All right. So these are they call them migrants now. All right. So give me 1 second because I accidentally pressed a button and I meant to play an instrumental. So let's get a quick instrumental called Fuji. All right. And then I'll be right back. Just give me a second, folks. I got to do something. And then we'll be back. Let's go.
You are now tuned in to the Network of Awareness.
How you doing?
In the mix.
Okay. So welcome back. And let's get into this. Now, there's a movie that I'm gonna do a breakdown on. It's called Snakehead. And I'm gonna do this on my TV channel network, which is network. Excuse me. Let me get some water, people. For some reason, my throat and I don't know what is I ate, but I'm feeling a little like, I don't know, my throat's a little funny now. It's a movie called Snakehead. I'm gonna do a breakdown on networkofawareness.tv. And I'm gonna really break down what the significance of the movie, because it's all about human trafficking, particularly in China, but not China the country, in Chinatown in New York City, in the underground world. And what a snakehead represents is basically like it's the person. It's like the person that brings the migrants that are being trafficked through particular regions, whether it be Mexico, China. They go through a series of events to meet up with other people. Some of them are called coyotes in Mexico. And they meet up with other people to basically get people to the States. Sometimes it's New York. Sometimes they get them to go to Texas. And then sometimes they just distribute these people all throughout the country. They're all over the place. You'd be surprised how many human trafficked people are around the country. Some of them are used as slaves. Some of them are used as nannies. Some of them are used as prostitutes. Some of them are strippers. There's a lot of Russian women that are brought here to be strippers. And they're pretty much prostitutes as strippers, because when you go to a strip club, they wind up doing whatever for a price. And the reason I bring this up is because the story about all these bodies found is just a eye-opener to what's been going on for quite some time. And in the movie that's called Snakehead, there is a scene that is very reminiscent to what actually happened here in real life, where they put these in the movie. They put these people in a freezer in a big truck, just like the truck that they're going to discuss here, and they left them in there too long, and the people froze to death. And when that happens, that is a major loss for the different mobs and cartels that are organized in this human trafficking. So I know for a fact that this truck where they found all these dead bodies, somebody took a big loss. And somebody's going to have to pay for that fuck up. And I guarantee you that the guys that were supposed to, the snakeheads or whoever, the coyotes that were supposed to bring these people to whatever destination that they were meant to go to, they're pretty much probably dead right now. And if they're not dead, somebody's looking for them to kill them because somebody lost out. Because for each person, it's, thousands upon thousands of dollars. It could be anywhere from $100,000 to $200,000 per person as far as what they can generate and what they owe in debt, what they have to work off. So they're going to talk about this, and I'm going to touch on it just for a little bit. So here we go.
Texas, more than 50 are dead after the truck they were being smuggled in was abandoned in scorching heat. Morgan Chesky now with late details.
On the edge of San Antonio, a horrific human tragedy. Officials confirming 51 migrants died after being packed inside a semi-tractor trailer. The truck discovered late Monday, baking in the Texas summer heat.
Quite a few of them are already deceased.
Firefighters arrived after someone reported hearing calls for help, opening the doors to a grim scene.
With no water, no air conditioning, no means for ventilation, and they suffered. They suffered before they died.
16 survivors, including 4 children, were rushed to nearby hospitals. Several later died, bringing the death toll to 39 men and 12 women. Mexican authorities identified 22 victims as Mexican nationals, 7 others from Guatemala, and 2 migrants from Honduras. Police took 3 people into custody. A Mexican government official says one of the suspects in the alleged smuggling plot is a U.S. citizen. Calling the tragedy preventable, San Antonio's mayor pointed at Washington's gridlock over
So as you heard, they said one of the people that was involved is a U.S. citizen. Now, this is very common. Usually they have to have a U.S. citizen involved in the transportation to the States because it's usually somebody that's connected that has a place where these people can be stored and then released to their appropriate owners. Now, the fact that they found this person, um, I, it's hard to believe that they say they did because I don't believe they did. And if they did, I can guarantee you that 9 times out of 10, that person will get killed before they can even talk. If they even get a chance to talk. A lot of times in these types of segments, they tell you that people have been found, but they never tell you who it is. And then they just brush it under the rug because this is big business. And this is business that not only the cartels, which in this case, you can tell that it was the Mexican and South American cartels that was heavily involved in the transportation of this human trafficking. But this is a major, major issue in Texas, in places like Arizona, because these places are so close to the border. Even places in California have this issue. And these people are scattered throughout the country once they arrive to a certain destination. Doesn't necessarily mean that because they were coming to Texas that they stay in Texas. You might have some of them stay in Texas and then others will go other places. Sometimes they'll go work at restaurants that are owned by these overlords and these underground bosses. And I will discuss that in the movie that I'm going to break down called Snakehead. But this is a big problem. And I'm going to let this play out. And then we'll go on to the next segment.
Immigration.
This is another manifestation of an immigration system that lawmakers who are in charge of it refuse to deal with.
You believe the system has failed?
It's failed these families, it's failed our country, it's failed the entire North American continent.
Texas Governor Greg Abbott also sounding off, writing, "These deaths are on Biden and a result of his deadly open border policies." In a statement, President Biden said, exploiting vulnerable individuals for profits is shameful, as is political grandstanding during tragedy. Back at the site, Angelita Olvera placed 2 crosses to pay tribute.
No, no los conozco, pero son humanos.
I didn't know them, but they are human, she told us. It's so sad. We should all have an opportunity for a better life. And tonight we're learning more about 2 of those 3 individuals arrested, police identifying them as 2 Mexican nationals who live here in San Antonio who had not only overstayed their visas, but were in illegal possession of multiple firearms. Lester?
Okay, Morgan, thank you. Now to that Amtrak train disaster in Missouri.
All right, so they were in legal possession of firearms. So you know this is all affiliated to the cartel. But I'm going to tell you something, people. Those people that are involved, especially the ones that are involved from the United States, I don't see them having a long life because these are the types of people that they will disappear quick. And these matters are handled very swiftly. And just give me 1 second here because I want to pull up. I'm going through different screens here. So that I have to go through different screens in order to pull up the chat room, which I want to do right now. So just give me 1 second while I do that. Okay. All right. So this next segment that I'm going to talk about here, give me 1 second, is abortion, right? The Roe versus Wade. So what we have right now is we have abortion being a big issue. Now, there's one thing I'm going to say about this is that the way these people are behaving, and I'm pretty sure that some of you have seen it on social media, the way these people are behaving, it's a reflection of the psychosis here in America. It's a big problem. This country is so fucked up, people. And this abortion turn or overturn, right? Roe versus Wade. In certain states, this is not only serving as a distraction, but what it's also serving is that the so-called white man and woman in America is very paranoid because the infrastructure and privilege that they've had full reign over for close to 500 years now is slowly but surely diminishing when it comes to melanated people saturating not only this country, but the world. And the so-called white man and woman that's Caucasian, all right, which we all know there's no such thing as race, but with the social construct of the white man and woman is very nervous right now because they feel and they can see actually that the power structure is slowly but surely diminishing. And I could tell you that I live in Florida, right? I've been here for now 7 years. Or going on 7 years, really. Yeah, just about that. Time flies. I could tell you from firsthand experience of seeing how the opioid crisis is wiping out so-called white people by the hundreds of thousands. I mean, they are wiping them out something awful. There is an epidemic of death in the United States. I've seen it here in Florida. There's so many people that are addicted to heroin. And then not only with the opioid deaths, right? Because you've heard me talk about this and I got validation of this from firefighters because I used to be an insurance broker and one of my biggest clients were fire departments. So I had very close relationships with firemen and women. And they used to tell me that on average, every 10 calls that they get, 7 of the calls that they're rushing out when you see them blowing their horns and like, woo, woo, brr, you think they're rushing to a fire? No, no, no. They are rushing to try, if they can make it in time, to resuscitate a opioid overdose. Okay, that's a significant number. 7 out of 10 opioid overdoses. That number, I believe, and I can't say this is a fact, but I believe it's increased because of the fentanyl. Fentanyl is, people, man, fentanyl is killing so many people so quickly. You know, they say if you even take a whiff of that, you can die. Some potent shit. And it's wiping out a lot of so-called white people. And because of all these things, because a lot of the younger generations of white people are not having children anymore, and a lot of them are actually having children with people that are of different cultural and ethnic backgrounds opposed to the Caucasian man and woman. So these children are coming out brown and black and, you know, and caramel and butterscotch. And because of that, the Caucasian population is set to significantly decrease by the year 2050. And because they know this, they want to overturn abortion in a lot of these states because they're trying to preserve and they're trying to give an opportunity for so-called white babies to be born. And what's going to happen is that now that they're going to have more white babies being born instead of aborted in certain states, they're also going to have more black and brown so-called babies born, much more, right? But only in certain states. And this is serving as a distraction, but it's also part of the spiritual warfare. And I had made mentions to this when Brother Jacob, Alkaline J, had asked that question about what I thought about it. But this is the reality, is that they're trying to preserve this so-called Aryan race. But as you all know, there's no such thing as race, but these people truly believe in that. They truly believe that white power is real, when we all know it's very insignificant. But it means something for now in the United States of America, as it has when it comes to the Constitution and when it comes to white privilege and when it comes to the way laws are enforced in this country or corporation. And because of that, they're trying to maintain that weakening power structure to have some type of, it's almost like they're all of these politicians, they're all hopeless romantics trying to figure out ways to keep this relationship of so-called white supremacy in action and keep it functioning like a well-oiled machine. But the machine is breaking down. So this is just another attempt to try to preserve and maintain this bullshit power structure that's been here since the inception of this country. So let's talk about it. And let's hear what the Smoke and Mirrors media has to say about this.
On the rails. Maggie Vespa, NBC News, Mendon, Missouri.
New fallout tonight after the Supreme Court overturned Roe v. Wade. In Texas, a judge temporarily blocked a full abortion ban, allowing procedures to resume for up to 6 weeks. But in South Carolina and Tennessee, new laws are now in effect banning abortions after the 6-week mark of pregnancy. While in Wisconsin, the Democratic governor backed a legal challenge to stop his state's ban. Now many women are turning to medication abortions, leading to increased demand for abortion pills. Here's Stephanie Gosk.
Today, the HHS secretary pledging to make the abortion pill more available.
HHS will take steps to increase access to medication abortion.
The demand is there. Within hours of the Supreme Court decision to overturn Roe v. Wade, the phones at the Repro Legal Helpline were ringing off the hook.
We have seen an unprecedented number of inquiries coming through.
The organization answers women's legal questions about accessing abortion pills.
Our job is to tell people what the legal landscape looks like, what their rights and legal risks are.
More than 50% of all abortions are medication abortions, using a 2-pill regimen called Mifeprex or its generic version. The FDA has approved the drug for up to 10 weeks into a pregnancy. With 6 states currently enforcing total abortion bans with limited exceptions, and more likely to do so soon, women in those places who want the pills are pursuing a wide range of options, each with legal, logistical, and potentially.
Now, something that comes to mind for me, looking at it with spiritual eyes, is this. This is the psychosis of America. It is just another piece of the fucked up pie of American pie. Isn't it interesting, brothers and sisters, that we live in a society where women from all different age groups are so pro-abortion? Think about this. People are so much into killing fetuses, killing life. And it's a testament to the irresponsibility and the recklessness of most women in this country, as well as men that get them pregnant. But we're going to focus on the women because they're the ones fighting for this right to be able to abort. See, abortion goes deep into eugenics, especially when it comes to so-called black people. So-called black and brown people, people like Margaret Singer, wanted through Planned Parenthood to really build this up as they have. this is also big business for the pharmaceutical countries that are using the fetuses of these unborn children that are 14 weeks old to 12 weeks old to use the lung tissue amongst other tissue of the aborted fetus into these science appliances, right? But it's interesting how people are so passionate about wanting to do this. And I remember, my very first girlfriend, right? That she lives in, I believe, Delaware now. And I remember asking her years ago when she told me that, she holds a pretty significant position in Planned Parenthood. And I was like, you work for Planned Parenthood? It's such a wicked organization. It was disheartening to hear her say that she works for this organization is so wicked. But it is what it is. And you'd be surprised the rationale that these females have when it comes to abortion. But I'm gonna tell you something. Abortion is really nothing but a way to correct what people believe to be a mistake, and they use it as a contraceptive. And it doesn't hold women accountable. It doesn't hold the men that get these women accountable. And let me tell you something. I'll be very transparent with you, brothers and sisters. I had 2 abortions with a woman, or a woman had an abortion with me. And it was this girlfriend that I had back in the days in my early 20s that was a straight psycho. She was Dominican, and I never should have got with her. The red flags were all there. But when I was in my early 20s, people, you hear me talk about it, I was reckless. Okay. I was reckless. I was very promiscuous, and I was just wasn't in the right headspace. And I look back on it now, I'm like, how can I be so stupid? And even my friends would be like, how can you be so stupid? But I was. And she had 2 abortions, and I asked the Most High for forgiveness because those are 2 lives that I have to answer for. You know what I mean? Because of this abortion that she had. And I think that one of the children spiritually came to visit me, and it was a very dark spirit. It wasn't very happy with the decision that me and this woman made at the time in our 20s. And I had to learn some hard lessons from that. It's one of the reasons why when I got my daughter's mother pregnant, who I only knew for a month, she was talking about having an abortion. And I was like, well, if that's what you feel like you want to do, but I'm here for you and I think you should keep it because I'll be here, whatever. It's up to you. She decided to keep it. And then, of course, I have my daughter. But that was more on me because she wanted me to make the decision. But I was like, I didn't want to do that again. I didn't want to go through that again. So I have my daughter. But it's a form of contraception for a lot of women. And it's people that don't accept responsibility for their actions. And here we have in the United States now, in certain states, right? Because pretty much all the red states are flowing with this. And not only is it to preserve the so-called white child, right? But it's also to create some form of chaos and turmoil and division. And it's doing, let me tell you, they're doing a great job at it. That's one thing that the United Serpents of America is good for. They're really good at dividing people in so many different ways. And here's another way. But when you see these women, they look so wicked. It's like they have no light in them because they're so adamant on saying, yes, it's our choice. It's our choice. Well, it should be your choice to be able to be responsible and not open up your legs and not let these men come inside of you and have unprotected sex with you or have sex at all. And it's something that Letta and I talk about on a particular podcast that we were on, where we talk about, like, when it comes to these young people, be very circumspect and use a lot of discernment when in relationships, and don't rush to get sexually active. Because with sex, people, it is a great responsibility. It is a spiritual responsibility. And if you're not ready to take care of a child, then you shouldn't be having unprotected sex. Period. So here we are with this big distraction that is serving a multitude of purposes. So let's let the segment play out.
Health risks. Some are going out of state for the required telehealth appointments and to.
One thing I want to mention before we continue is that this pill is going to be in high demand. That's number one. Just like the morning after pill. Okay. I knew a couple of girls they were morning after pill motherfuckers. Like that was their shit. Matter of fact, some of them would buy several of them and then just pop them whenever they, had unprotected sex and felt like maybe there was a chance that they could get pregnant. This pill is going to be in high demand. But what you're also going to see here in the States is people are going to be flocking to the States that still do it, but people are also going to be flocking to places like Mexico and places like Colombia. Anywhere outside the country where they can get this done, people are going to find a way to make it happen. It's no different than when people go and get their braces done in South America or in Canada because it's cheaper, or when people want to get health care in places like Canada or Mexico because it's cheaper. You're going to see a lot of that. But what you're also going to see is now that this is against the law, you're going to see a lot of women having babies. And that is going to be a clusterfuck for the man, especially when it comes to family court and child support. So fellas, let me tell you, to all my brothers out there that like to stick their peepees in whatever's wet out there, you better be on fucking point and you better use a lot of discernment and you better just be responsible on who you sleep with. Shit, you need to be responsible, not even just about getting a girl pregnant these days, but you got to be responsible in who you sleep with when it comes to the science appliance. Because if you're sleeping with people that are inoculated with this poison, you run the risk of dying and getting all fucked up and twisted. You know what I'm saying? So listen, I understand that STDs exist, and that's something we have to be aware of and cognizant of and be prepared to be careful in the way we operate with people, because it's, herpes and it's real. But shit, not only do you got to worry about that shit these days, but damn, you got to worry about the fucking science appliance and having that shit go into your system through the exchange of bodily fluids. Because shedding is very real. And it happens even quicker when you are exchanging sex. That's why it's easy to acquire HIV from somebody that has had, that has AIDS. And then you have sex with them and you get AIDS. So brothers, before we continue, just be very careful, because now if you get a woman pregnant that you met at the club or that you met at the park, or some chick that you got pregnant in school, well, guess what? Depending on where you live, she might not be able to get the abortion anymore. And now you're going to have to take care of that kid. She's going to have to take care of that kid. And mark my words, you're going to see a lot of death with children, because there's going to be a lot of people that are going to have their babies and they're going to start killing these babies because they don't want them. Not everybody gives up their child for abortion when they don't want them. You have a lot of sick people out here that wind up putting their children in a microwave. Their 2-week-old baby in a microwave, or throw their baby in a dumpster. How many stories I've heard countless stories of that growing up in New York City. So let's continue.
To get shipments of the drug. The pills can only be prescribed by certain providers and sold by a limited number of suppliers, according to FDA regulations.
The traffic to our site just exploded on Friday. We went from about 3,500 visits to 209,000.
Plan C is an online portal that provides state-by-state information on how.
See those numbers she said? 209,000. Shout outs to Sister Crystal. Shout out, sister. Sister Crystal says that vasectomies are on the rise because of the overturn. So for those that don't know what a vasectomy is, it's basically where the man, can't produce, I guess the certain amount of semen or whatever. I forgot how it works, but he basically can't get a woman pregnant. My brother-in-law got a vasectomy because my brother-in-law was one of the biggest hoes ever known in mankind. And after his second child with my sister, and my sister left his ass. Actually, no, my sister made him get him a vasectomy, now that I think about it. So he can't get women pregnant. And that's good because a dude like him, he's going to fuck anything that has a heartbeat. And there's a lot of men out there like that. So it is what it is. But look at the the increase in numbers. 209,000? Shit. But this is where we're leading to, people. I'm telling you. Excuse me. Even though this is serving as a distraction, this is going to cause so many problems in this country, which is a country that has a shitload of problems already. And now this drug is going to be in high demand. And what you're also going to start seeing, people, we're going to start seeing these types of stories on social media. Watch. It's only a matter of time. You're going to have these greedy ass doctors. Give me a second, people. I'm telling you, I don't know what it is with my throat. After I ate this chicken and rice, something happened to me. What you're going to start seeing is you're going to start seeing doctors that are greedy, that are going to be basically performing abortions in the black market legally. So what does that mean? That means that they are going to charge 3 or 4 times the amount of what a normal standard rate for an abortion is legally to have people get an abortion. And I'm guarantee you there will be people that are going to pay that money because they're so adamant on not wanting to take on this responsibility. And it's a testament to the fucked up demonic ways of the world, where people are so egoically driven that they only give a fuck about themselves so much that they have no desire to want to be responsible for another person's life or another spiritual being having a physical experience life. Especially with the youth today. The youth today is so reckless. Like, they're just fucking gone, right? You have a lot of Tekashi 6ix9ines running around and Megan Stallions and Nicki Minaj's running around, that these chicks and these dudes are straight lost. And when you got 2 lost people having sex, now some of those people are actually going to create offspring that's going to be just as fucked up as they are because they ain't going to raise them right. So this is going to have a multitude of side effects in this country. And the side effects are going to be very detrimental to the well-being of society. And it's going to cause a lot of corruption and distortion and mayhem.
how to obtain abortion pills, including how to get them from overseas, from suppliers the organization has vetted, but that don't have FDA authorization.
Doesn't the FDA specifically warn people not to do that?
The FDA does warn people not to go to overseas pharmacies, but they don't actually prohibit it. We know that self-managing abortion with medication abortion pills is safe.
But there can sometimes be complications, and the FDA recommends follow-up care, which women may be reluctant to get in states where abortion is illegal. Law experts also wonder what legal steps those states may take to block the use of the pills.
How do states stop people from getting and using these pills unless they're willing to punish the people who live in their own borders?
Right now, no state has gone that far, but the legal landscape is changing quickly, and the abortion pill is right in the middle of it. Stephanie Gosk, NBC News.
In 60 seconds, our...
So there you go. This thing it's going to cause so many problems, people. And it's going to serve its purpose as being a distraction in this country. It's going to serve its purpose as creating more division in a country where it is riddled in division. And I agree with Sister Crystal in the chat room who says a lot of women will probably be found dead trying to have an abortion by any means, right? We're gonna start seeing people going back to the what do you call that? The coat hanger, right? Like there's women that take coat hangers, the metal coat hanger, and literally stick it into their vaginas and try to scrape out the child. There's women that have actually done that. And a lot of those women have died from blood loss. But when you see the psychosis of a lot of these women in America, it's crazy, man. It's crazy bananas. And it's just going to cause a lot of turmoil in a time where turmoil is running rampant. Now, this next segment that I am going to cover here, give me 1 second. This is something I'm going to touch on real quick. And it's just funny how, give me a second because they have a commercial on here. Let's let that commercial play out. But I'm going to talk about the Jeffrey Epstein case and his sidekick, the female by the name of Chastelaine. I forget her name. They'll mention in just a moment. And this is interesting, people. Listen to what they say. And when you want to talk about, when it comes to, okay, here we go.
Recruiting and grooming underage girls to be exploited.
Ghislaine Maxwell, right? They're going to talk about her sentencing. Now, I want you to pay close attention on how fast they cover this story.
By Jeffrey Epstein. Ghislaine Maxwell has been sentenced to 20...
Elaine Maxwell. I don't know why I said Ghislaine, but whatever. So Elaine Maxwell sentenced to 20 years in prison. Check this out.
Years in prison. She was convicted earlier this year of helping Jeffrey Epstein sexually exploit girls as young as 14. Before she was sentenced, Maxwell addressed the court for the first time, saying meeting Epstein was the greatest regret of her life. And that is Nightly News.
Now, you see how fast that was? That is smoke and mirrors media. Let me tell you why they do that. Number one, that lady is not going to serve any real time in jail. Number two, when they covered this segment, look how brief it was. It was literally in 30 seconds. Okay. Number two, or number, what is it, 3 or 4, is that they only showed paintings of her, right? The stenographer, that is, not the stenographer, the person that paints images of, or draws images of people in court. That's the only picture they show of her. So how do we really know that she's even in jail right now? They don't show no pictures of her. Why? Because she's not in jail. The Epsteins and this woman, Maxwell, were so deep rooted and connected You don't think Jeffrey Epstein is going to keep her protected? And if you still think that Jeffrey Epstein is dead, you are fucking in orbit. Just cut the fucking cord already. Just go. Because that man is far from dead. And she is going to disappear just like he did on some remote island. And she's not going to serve her time in jail. But the reason I wanted to cover that, because I could give two fucks about these two demons. But the reason I wanted to cover it is to let you know how these smoke and mirrors media work, is that they show you that quick clip of a painting of her in court. They're telling you that she's been sentenced to jail, but I guarantee you that woman is not in any jail right now. That woman is going to be let go and be allowed to live her life because of the people that she's connected to, like the Trumps, like the Obamas and the Clintons and all these other people of major influence and power in the United States. And around the people that are affiliated with, like, what was it, Prince Charles? I mean, they were affiliated with all the heavy hitter oligarchs from around the world, all the big time demons that are part of this Kabbalistic Masonic society. So I wanted to just cover that because they are not going to put this woman in jail. And that is just a glimpse of how the media operates. They covered it in 30 seconds. They didn't go in depth. Why? Because somebody in the higher up that is the owner of NBC News that dictates what the media can put out basically said, we're going to cover this story very brief and we're going to let it go. And that's exactly what they did. All right. And if you think Jeffrey Epstein's dead, then you might as well, you probably believe that Benjamin Franklin discovered electricity by flying a kite in a rainstorm. So, in a thunderstorm. So I just wanted to do a Smoke and Mirrors media segment. I hope that you, brothers and sisters that are listening to the show, enjoyed that. And I think the most important segment that we covered out of all of them was the one about Roe versus Wade. And yes, Brother Jacob, I saw the interview with Roe, and she basically admitted that she didn't get raped. And isn't it interesting how when a so-called white woman says she gets raped and the whole country has to go into an uproar, just like in Oklahoma, in Tulsa, with Black Wall Street, where the woman said that she was assaulted or touched by a young black man, and all of a sudden they killed all these people. Isn't it reflective that in this country, whenever a white woman says that she was raped or molested or touched, all of a sudden, all these different changes have to happen. And here we are, once again, where another so-called white woman lied. And because of that lie, all these different demonic laws, these draconian laws were put into place, only to be overturned because a lot of times when it comes to Satan and the people that follow him, sometimes they do things that don't work into their favor. It does temporarily, but then it doesn't. That's why you have a lot of these governors and senators and people of so-called white Caucasian descent nervous because they feel like their bloodlines are going to be completely wiped out where they no longer will exist. So that's why they're doing this, to try to preserve the little bit that they still have left. So with that being said, brothers and sisters, let's take a brief instrumission, and then I'm going to close things off in regards to universal understandings. If anybody in the chat room has any questions for me, put them in the chat room, and I'll be glad and happy to answer those questions when I get back from this intermission. All right, brothers and sisters, here we go.
Nothing like Stage Screen Radio TV. Let's go. Please just tell me what's happening to me in plain English without the mumbo jumbo.
I built this shit. Me. Brick by brick. And I'll be damned if I let you tear it down just cause you don't like the way another nigga
Here we are, back again, about to drop some facts again. Yahweh's word spreads like a vicious net for capturing those with an ear to listen, those who paid attention, those who stand bold like a soldier with their convictions, not quick to fold or throw in the towel when under pressure. They walk it like they talk it, they live the message, but depression's what most folks are facing. They got the vaccination, we in zombie land, pretty soon we gon' have to dance. Better keep that sword on your body, fam, cause this far from the game, Babylon will burn down and blame. Some deaths are better off real slow, so you can witness the pain. You tortured slaves, 400 plus years of pain, hung brothers up in the trees, swinging for days and days. Now this is your end of days, you looking so disarrayed. Try to cover your ears, but the truth still gon' penetrate. The hatred is strong, but races still want to imitate and integrate. Only Yahweh's chosen holy nation can ever be this great.
Yahweh's amazing. Before I eat, I'm saying my graces. I pray for knowledge and wisdom and peace. We dwell in greatness. 144,000 frequencies and vibrations. So don't give me amped. Go take a hike and camp like concentrations. Pull up my pants and send my genes to elevate genetics. I'm concentrating, no recess to dominate recessives. No car insurance, the way I swerve, they be like impressive. Stephanie Courtney know my flow is looking more progressive. My aura is a network full of awareness and gifts like Aura, the informationalist. Shout out my brother, take one. All these chances in life, don't hesitate and wait to take one. We are the true Jews, about to take off. Hitler knows we don't play soft. I pull up and let like 8 off. Watch a demon hair splatter, give me back my platter that y'all just ate off.
Yo, remember what we talked about building something special as a 1/3? Well, I feel like we're finally here. A righteous Wall Street, bro. Yes, sir, let's get it.
All praise to the Most High, this is only the beginning. Righteously preparing, raising our awareness. The social engineering, just faithful forbearing. Salute to those faith in it, kings and queens creating it. That's people awakening, 2/3 be forsaking him, 1/3 keeps on praising him, putting all my faith in him. Most people be faking it, munching on some bacon bits. Ignorance remains in bliss. In this life I came to win, righteousness I'm living in. Truth is the enlightenment, Yahweh's the embodiment of peace and redefinement. Elohim is in the science, go grown out for lions. Raising the horizons, frequency just heightens. Spirit always brightens, no fear can ever frighten. A man on a mission, living out his visions. Truth to the tradition, gaining all the wisdom. To be freed from the prison, transition with God's mercy. With the early worthy, realist, righteous visionaries.
Too many people live their life in sin. You gotta change your life before the very end. The signs of the times and we know it's coming. But I walk in this light of to and fro, you'll be running. See, I choose to serve Yahweh Elohim instead of pursue a life of finer things. So break free from vanity, iniquity, depravity, to free yourself from death and all calamity. Yeah.
Yahweh's with me, I be walking in my truth. I overcame my struggles, I'm the living proof. The truth's a weapon, just put it to good use. You can hang a lie by the neck, something like a noose. Y'all favor me, the real one, cause I'm a visionary. Committed to the truth, exposed to lies like a visionary. Tell them that the world that we live in is fucking crazy, so don't be moving shady, y'all's protecting his people.
The world is trying to back me up against the wall like a cat. Guess what? I'm clawing out of that. Big facts. Guaranteed no pussies over here. When it all goes down, I'm negating all fear. You hear? Lend me your ear like a homeless man asking for $1. The irony in that 2/3 are going to holler, cause it's not gonna work shit. You dead. Put your body in the ditch if your ass cannot handle it. The elites is playing with us. Call it Squid Games. You decide if you want your brains falling on your lap and let the rats eat it. Just to be safe, no honor in that. I'd rather be with killers that spit facts. You would never see me selling my ass for some cash. Hollywood is gonna burn down and crash. I'm a bit excited about this. No tear dropping when it really ends.
funny how we went from whips and chains. Now the only thing we sing about is our whips and platinum chains. Instead of seeking the Most High, they'd rather seek the fame. So what's changed? They tried voting, they tried marching, and a damn thing changed. We still got burned and hung from a tree. Now you want to be a Mason of the 33rd degree. Yahweh never died on a cross, he died on a tree. So what's changed? I tell you what's changed. Now we know the truth. Hebrews are the chosen people, and Judah is the proof. Shalom, Barakatah, and salute.
If I'm not mistaken, it was
now you see something. Now you see now. Now you see now. You done fucked up. You done fucked up. You done fucked up.
I see. No.
What's up? You fucked up now. You fucked up now. You fucked up.
You are now tuned in to the Network of Awareness.
Low kick.
How you doing? They know I got the 9 on me.
Yeah, you know I got the 9 on me.
It's time to ride or die, homie.
Yeah, it's time to ride or die, homie.
Man, this how we survive, homie.
Yeah, this how we survive, homie.
That's why I keep the 9 on me.
Yeah, you know I got the 9 on me.
This word is for the wise, either ride or you gon' die. It's the blind leading the blind, we been fighting for our rights. Now we fighting for our life, still no light I see inside. But I see the light inside and pray I don't go out my mind. I got a 9 in my hand and a couple of bullets. All I need is a reason for me to load it and pull it. There goes one in the shoulder, another one in the leg. Gotta finish the job and put another one in his head. I was told it's him or me, I'ma live to see another day. Killer do the killing, I don't see it any other way. People do the talking, I don't care what motherfuckers say. Keep your social distance or you getting blown the fuck away. No more Mr. Nice Guy, I gotta be the bad boy. I'm on high alert, I got all of you niggas paranoid. I'm way too much at peace for you to ever bother mine. That's the bottom line, cause we all live in them all time. The 9 on me.
Yeah, you know I got the 9 on me.
It's time to ride or die, homie.
Yeah, it's time to ride or die, homie.
Man, this how we survive, homie.
Yeah, this how we survive, homie.
That's why I keep the 9 on me.
Yeah, you know I got the 9 on me. Do or die till I die, homie. I leave a nigga paralyzed, homie. What you know about the 9 on me? With that 45, feel like plies, homie. I look up at the sky like I'm the guy, homie. Got him grinding off the muscle you supply for me. What you know about your bestie trying to ride on you? I ain't never tell, bitch, I define loyal. That type of upper shit just make my blood boil you. How you hate me after all the shit I done for you? Now I'm forced to get my head right, but that's kinda hard with you to dodge death twice. Respect life, but this ain't a show, I'm dead nice. I'm the one that could bring us to the next fight. Shed light over everything bad, I'm the one with a gun, it's a tech bite. Blah.
I built this shit. Me. Brick by brick. And I'll be damned if I let you tear it down just cause you don't like the way another nigga talk.
My crown I can't lose, Yahweh I choose. Allergic to the wicked, it makes me go at you. Remember when I was hurting, broken without you? I was searching for something higher than the words of pools. Behold, you led me to Yasha al-Karal, liberated from believing the name was Jesus and God. Here I am, years later, still pushing hard. You never left my side, homies, wherever you are, holding on. For dear life, the old me's long gone, but residuals of the individual prolongs. But I'm still here, demons I'm fencing, holding up my defenses on guard. I'll be a goner if it weren't for you, oh Elohim, King of Kings, Alpha Omega, first and last, creator of everything. Forever your name reigns supreme.
That's all it takes to know that you will guide my path. Open doors, make a way, because you and the love you have for me is clearly shown. It's not the praises of man, it's the works of your hand. I know that I'm not alone.
Shalom, walking
living life under the dome. So much chaos in the world going on. If you ever had doubt that made you feel alone, remember that the Most High watching from the throne. Since my younger days, I was trying to buck up, took the wrong path, and I remember when I fucked up, running with police and the thought of being cuffed up, trying to give me 5 years like tough luck. Calls from jail, no one picking up the phone. Pops funny answer, yo, you on your own. Feelings betray me like damn, I'm alone. The past was laid out that the Most High shown. Finally, I was going home. Universal rap, high frequency tone. 1/3 of the light could pick a bone. Waiting for the day for y'all to bring us home.
That's all it takes to know that you will guide my path. Open doors, make a way, because you and the love you have for me is clearly shown. It's not the praises of man, it's the works of your hand. I know that I'm not alone.
A new age has begun. An age of freedom. And all who know the 300 Spartans gave their last breath to defend it.
Sticking to the man, still sticking to the man. Revolutionary, getting litty with the fan. Yeah, I be on my grizzy, getting busy for the plan. Ask me why I did it, yo, I did it cause I can't. Nothing gonna stop me, finna hit them till they can't take it anymore, they gon' give us all the man. Youth gon' rise up, sticking to the man. I'ma rage till I die, cause this is who I am. Get up out my way, I'm coming through with the squad. I could never lose, cause I'm moving with God. Fight the power, Mr. Man, wanna ruin us all. But there's too many of us and we all true to the cause. Che Guevara in my starter, rage against the machine. Fight the power, take tomorrow back and wipe the slate clean. We ain't gon' cower to these cowards, we gon' stand for what's right. Get hype in this mug while we spreading the light. Where my soldiers at? Get it going, we gon' show them we ain't cheap. Yo, it's over, overthrow they ass. Let them know you mad, bring it to them right where they stay. Don't trip, take the chip, love wins at the end of the day. Sticking to the man, still sticking to the man. Revolutionary, getting litty with the fan. Yeah, I be on my grizzy, getting busy for the plan. Ask me why I did it, yo, I did it cause I can't. Nothing gonna stop me, finna hit them till they can't take it anymore, they gon' give us all the man. Youth gon' rise up, sticking to the man. I'ma rage till I die, cause this is who I am. Fat cats eating while the rest of us starve. We can't have that, fed up, get ready for war. Can't have fast revolution doing the most. We won't go quiet, don't listen to us, you told. We done playing with you, it ain't a game, yo, we making history. Read, baby, fuck the fame, I wanna change the system. Break your prison, got the key for the lock. Won't stop till we free and my people on top. On God, homie, is you really with us, so what you bout? Make a decision, get busy living, show out for the real thing. You are what you do, who are you? I'm definitely and I kangaroo. Sticking to the man, still sticking to the man. Youth gon' rise up, sticking to the man. Youth gon' rise up, sticking to the man. Youth gon' rise up, sticking to the man. Run up in the Senate, niggas, hush. Think you getting over on us, but you not. The system has been rigged, the government's been bought. The house don't represent us, it represents the ops. Stand with standing by, take the man right out. God damn it, we ain't having what you handing out. We want clean air, clean food, water. A future for our kids, bitch, this a new order. Tear down the wall, love is for all. Death to the man in the system we call. Freedom ain't free if you can't breathe. Real people stay woke, we ain't gon' sleep. Get it crackin', packin' activism. A full clip, show them crackers we ain't having all that bullshit. The aristocracy is gonna share starting now. Stick it to the man, pull the trigger. Wow, stick it to the man. Stick it to the man. Stick it to the man. Stick it to the man.
Stick it to the motherfucking man.
I don't know who you are. I don't know what you want. If you are looking for ransom, I can tell you I don't have money. But what I do have are a very particular set of skills. Skills I've acquired over a very long career. Skills that make me a nightmare for people like you. Make me a nightmare for people like you. Me a nightmare for people like you. Me a nightmare for people like you.
Know you listening to the one and only Oxakai.
In the mix. In the mix. In the mix. In the mix.
Marquise. Or we about to hit him with something they ain't heard before. Let's go. Let me talk my shit. The truth is the truth, no matter how you accept it. I'm a Hebrew king that Babylon has rejected. Morals and soul intact, never neglected. Fuck these rap industry niggas, yeah I said it. I'm stuck when I'm stuck with, cause I don't suck dick. I don't sell brick, it is what it is. The Most High blessed me with this gift just to spit. And lyrically call you fake rappers on your shit. Blow for blow, let them know I'm ready to go. The difference between me and them, I still have my soul. Why sell it for a season when you promise tenfold? But niggas will be niggas, ain't that right, Momo? The truth is the truth, no matter how you accept it. There isn't like blood that's coded in my genetics. Bar for bar, so you can feel my kinetics. I know my purpose and my mission, intercepted, intercepted.
Babylon has did everything to try to keep it from me. They don't wanna see me grow with the truth. Don't want me. The truth is the truth. I know my purpose now. Now I'm on a mission. Babylon has did everything to try to keep it from me. They don't wanna see me grow with the truth. Don't want me. The truth is the truth. I know my purpose now. Now I'm on a mission.
In the age of low wages and raging races, haters are mad faces that haven't been awakened. Chasing oasis to be rich and famous. Abrasive vibrations can be real contagious. We all vagrants in a wasted matrix. So basic sensations have reached their apex. Time to give the hopeless a conscious facelift. In stages and phases of inspiration. So don't say shit, it's just confirmation. I'm giving directions to misguided strangers. So do yourself a favor, stop spilling blood on the paper. One with the creator, we don't waver from no danger. This purpose with no caution, no hope in slow motion. A lot of painful emotions got me feeling explosive. But I maintain from implosion and stay away from commotions. And stick to the slogan, to be God's chosen.
Babylon has did everything to try to keep it from me. They don't wanna see me grow with the truth. Don't want me. The truth is the truth. I know my purpose now. Now I'm on a mission. Babylon has did everything to try to keep it from me. They don't wanna see me grow with the truth. Don't want me. The truth is the truth. I know my purpose now. Now I'm on a mission.
More Tribe Beats. She said she don't fuck with fake, she the realest. Ayy, shorty got a heartbreak, I can heal it. Ayy, I be so high off life, I can't feel my face. She wanna rock like Chris Rock, I'm the head of stay. She said she don't fuck with fake, she the realest. Ayy, shorty got a heartbreak, I can heal it. Ayy, I be so high off life, I can't feel my face. She wanna rock like Chris Rock, I'm the head of stay. You know I be starving, where's the feedback? Ayy, I'm out of this world, E.T. where the weed at? Ayy, these haters is soft, I gotta go harder. Her saliva tasting like coconut water. The energy training, I gotta go charge it. I punch it, I kick it like bitches is Sparta. Let me slow it down for all of my people. Ayy, the way I sound, I know it seem evil. Ayy, but I promise, homie, I be so righteous. If you can't see it, then open your iris. See it. In the streets like Sesame, I don't see why not. They be trying to impress me, I just be like, stop. Little brody be trying to diss, I be like, man, what you talking about? Little brody like 26 and you still live at your mama house. Every time I bust a flow, I see wavy waters. Every Friday I see your hoe, I'm like, hey, Miss Parker. But I don't want your hoe cause I'm way smarter. I would love to help out, but I ain't the father. Better tell your man to handle his business. Ayy, so he don't have to be all of my business. Ayy, in all black, think that I'm gothic. It's prophecy, I collect the profit. She said she don't fuck with fake, she the realest. Ayy, shorty got a heartbreak, I can heal it. Ayy, I be so high off life, I can't feel my face. She wanna rock like Chris Rock, I'm the head of state. She said she don't fuck with fakes, she the realest. Ayy, shorty got a heartbreak, I can heal it. Ayy, I be so high off life, I can't feel my face. She wanna rock like Chris Rock, I'm the head of state.
Okay, alright. Yeah. Add it up.
One of the fastest growing podcast radio shows in society and culture and social sciences. The network of awareness.com.
Okay,
Let's
alright.
go.
Add it up.
Shout out to my brother Landon from Righteously Prepared. Shout outs to Germany. I see you, brother Kent.
Add it up.
And we are back. So, brothers and sisters, welcome to episode 33 Universal Understandings. I had intended for this episode to be a little bit longer, past 2 hours, but I'm going to keep it under the 2-hour marker because I don't know. I'm just something with I'm just feeling like a little off. Like I feel like my head is a little hot. So after this broadcast is over, I'm just going to lay down and just rest it off, get some more alkaline in my system, take some vitamins, and probably call it a night. And y'all willing, wake up in the morning feeling a lot better. But as I said, this is a questions and answers portion of the show. So I had asked if you had any questions that I would address those questions the best way I can. Now, when it comes to the music industry, which I know a lot about, it's pretty much over, right? But in regards to the brother Jacob says, R. Kelly has been sentenced to 30 years in prison. Will the elites give him a cocktail or let him pull a Jeffrey Epstein? Great question. Now, let me just start off by saying, brothers and sisters, I can give a rat's ass about the music industry and what happens to R. Kelly, but these are the options that he has as of present day. This can go a multitude of ways. Now, as many of you know, and some of you don't know, you are worth more dead than you are alive in the music industry. That is a fact. That's why a lot of the lawyers and musical moguls kill off a lot of artists when they don't have no more use for them and wind up tripling their profits when the artist gets killed and dies because they promote their music. Same thing like what Puff Daddy did with Biggie. So this is what I think is going to happen. This is the options that I think that can happen to R. Kelly. Now, number one, he is a so-called black man. And in the music industry, anybody who is black is not held in high regard, right? So he can definitely get killed in jail. They might just kill him off and make a shitload of money on his music sales, promoting his death and mourning him, right? And there'll be a bunch of girls and older women that will eat that shit up and buy all his music, right? What they can also do besides kill him is do a hologram, right? Because that's what they do now. They have holograms of certain artists like they did with Tupac and Michael Jackson and Whitney Houston. They have holograms of these people that do live performances as holograms. So they could do that. They could go that route. They can also go the route of Jeffrey Epstein and have him go to a remote island with a lot of other people and say that he died. There's a possibility that he could commit suicide, but I don't think that that's going to happen. There's a great possibility that if they still have use for him, they can find some type of loophole where he only serves a year or two in jail and then let him out. Another option that can possibly happen is that they just let him, go through this ordeal in jail and hype it up and then kill him, right? And find some other type of way. There's all these different options. At the end of the day, though, whatever happens to him, I hope it's a horrible and long-suffering death. Because if there's anybody that deserves to suffer, it's definitely him. He's earned it. So that's the best answer I could give you, brother, in regards to R. Kelly. But it is what it is. They really don't have no more use for him anyway. So he's worth more dead than alive. I want to sum things up for today's show. When it comes to universal understandings, people, if you are in a position right now in your life where there's a lot of turmoil or things are not going your way, maybe it's time to get out your own way and allow Yahweh, allow the Most High to guide you along the way. If you are experiencing a lot of turmoil in your life, maybe it's time to open up your heart and your mind, which is the spirit, to allow the universe to guide you instead of trying to control situations. Because having universal understanding has you connected to everything, because we are connected to everything, because we are just an expression of the infinite light that the Most High possesses, that other beings have. We're connected to animals. We're connected to the oceans. We're connected to the trees. We're connected to vegetation. We're connected to the cosmos. We're connected to the stars. We're connected to everything that comes from the Most High. So when it comes to universal understanding, people, get out your own way. And for those of you that are connected to the universe and have a great understanding and are evolving in that understanding, I salute you and I say keep it going, because there's way more things that are coming that are really good for you. All right? There's a lot of great things that are just waiting for you around the corner. All you have to do is be resilient and, most importantly, be faithful, because faith is definitely a superpower. So, brothers and sisters, there's a storm coming in that's really bad here in the Tampa Bay area. There's a bunch of lightning I'm seeing and thunder and wind that's picking up. So I think this broadcast is ending just at the right time, because sometimes when we experience this type of weather, we lose internet connection temporarily, sometimes even electricity. So I just want to thank everybody who took the time out of their, tedious and busy schedules to make time to listen to this live broadcast. I salute y'all, and I'm very grateful for y'all. So with that being said, when you live in the present, there's always an opportunity for a new beginning. And even more importantly, let me get my music here, right? Brothers and sisters, don't look for the light at the end of the tunnel, because the light is and always will be within you. So light up the tunnel and find your way through the darkness and have a universal understanding and practice and build and strengthen the universal principles that exist throughout the universe. And get out your own way and allow Yahweh, allow the Most High to guide you spiritually into a better state of mind and to have everlasting truth and enlightenment so that you can leave this prison planet. Brothers and sisters, this is all the information list from the Network of Awareness, saying peace, love, and light, and barakatah, all praise to the Most High. This is only the beginning. Peace, brothers and sisters.
Life is an unpredictable and amazing journey. Our ever-changing conditions within today's society and the constant new trends influencing cultures can become overwhelming, to say the least. But no worries. The Network of Awareness podcast radio show brings peace of mind in these challenging times. Follow us on your favorite podcast listening app and join our community of Network of Awareness at networkofawareness.com.